Next, on this episode of The Nice Guys on Business.
Mindset is everything. If you are not feeling good about yourself or where you are in that place, don't see a client till you can change your mindset.
Take out your phone. Do you have an iPhone or something inferior?
I have an Android.
Oh, boy. 2 Androids in a row. I'm not sure. My co-host Strickland is going to love these last 2 interviews then. We can always set the tone of the entire interview by the cell phone that you have.
So tell me, when the time is right, will you be ready for The Nice Guys on Business? Oh, yeah. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler.
I do love when you do the game show open to the show. It is so good. It is really good. And it's almost, what would be something that would be a sponsor of, let's say, I don't know, like a game show? Would NASCAR go with game shows?
Nah, NASCAR's too big to sponsor game shows, I think. That would be more like Campbell's Soup would sponsor a game show.
Okay. Well,
Viagra. Viagra might.
I was going to say, I almost slipped. I was going to say our guest today would fit really well into a can of Campbell's Soup, and then you happened to mention the word Viagra. So
I didn't know where you were going.
Yeah, Leah probably doesn't want to necessarily be associated with Viagra, but she might want to be associated with Campbell's Soup or NASCAR. As a matter of fact, Lea Woodford, who was our guest today on today's Nice Guy episode, I saw her, I think, if I remember correctly, flying a plane, getting into a NASCAR, interviewing big-time athletes. I mean, she is totally like an adventure seeker, a thrill seeker, a professional speaker. She is, I would tell you, a femme extraordinaire. I think she says, and I don't want to quote her exactly because I think it was her that said this, she is the son that her father never had.
Nice.
So
nice.
It's great. She really does tell an amazing story about overcoming adversity to triumph. She is an adventure seeker. She is a good lady. She really is a good lady. I was going to say a good sturdy lady. That doesn't sound good either. That does not sound good at all, especially for a woman that. What's the name of her company, Strick?
Smartfem Digital. Smartfem Media. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really interesting stuff. It's the Smartfem Media Group. And then she's also got a book coming out.
Lead, Share, Empower. Yeah, she's dynamite. She's got a lot of great information. She teaches all about, again, overcoming adversity, how to really put your best foot forward, how to lead, how to share, and how to empower, right? Isn't that the name of the book? Lead, Share, Empower.
That's it, exactly. And I think we should empower ourselves with the promise statement.
Oh, the promise statement is right here. It is to provide a learning experience that is entertaining and that adds value to your life. Hold on a second. Where is my bell? Wait a minute. That is 2 promise statements in a row that I have gotten.
That's amazing.
I know. I feel good. I feel Stricky. We have had I know. Today is just Wednesday's show, but I feel today's Wednesday, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I feel like midway through the week, our energy is just building and building and building. Did you check out what we were doing last week in terms of downloads and stuff?
Oh,
we're going to talk about tomorrow's show.
We're on a pace to beat last month's 45,000 downloads.
And last month was 20% better than the month before. We got some amazing stuff that's going down.
We do.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. I am so excited.
I know our funkin' fans, you guys, you are killing it. We love you guys. We love you.
Well, we have a sponsor today too, don't we?
We do. Julie Reisler in her book, Get a PhD in You. If you listen to the show at all, we have talked about it before. And man, this book, you think you know yourself, but you really don't know yourself until you sit down and really think about what you don't know about yourself. Because everybody has blind spots. This book will help you find the blind spots that you have to get to know yourself and figure out where your strengths are, figure out where your weaknesses are, and it'll just make you better all the way around.
Julie was a guest on the show. I don't remember what episode it was, but if you have that OneNote thing, don't you? Can't you just type in her name?
Yeah.
She was a guest on the show, and she's got an amazing story. She is definitely someone that is worth listening to. She wrote a wonderful book that was just released within the last couple of weeks. Head over to the link on our show notes. There's a link to get to her book on Amazon, and it's called Get a PhD in You. You can go to getaphdinu.com, or you can just click on the link right in the show notes to have access to her book. Julie is an amazing person. She is a lovely person. She is the person that I would say is definitely a Funkin' fan of the show as well. So we want to support her as much as we possibly can.
And that was episode 289, which was back on January the 11th. So it was only about a month ago. For Julie Reisler, Get a PhD in You is the title of the book. You can get it at getaphdinyou.com, or you can just click on the show notes and buy it there. And we've sold a couple of them so far.
I know. We got our 60 cents each time, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes,
I wonder who makes more on the book, us or Julie? Because I know I have a book. I have a book that's on Amazon right now. And I think if I remember correctly, I might make, I don't even want to say, it's less than $2 a book when it sells. It's crazy. Amazon, I don't know how they do it. You know what? They give away all of their money to affiliates. Speaking of which, we're going to have to talk about that tomorrow. I really do want to chat about the Amazon purchases and the link and everything and all the politics involved.
All right, we will talk about that tomorrow. But today it is Lea Woodward. I think we should get to the interview, unless you, of course, want to drop the C-Suite Network first.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's Lea Woodford, and she is a good friend of mine, so we can't fuck up her name.
Lea,
yeah, but that's okay.
I didn't have it in front of me. I'm too busy looking at her website.
No, Lea Woodford. She is also a C-Suite advisor, and she is a part of the C-Suite Network as well. And today's episode, of course, we are affiliated with the C-Suite Radio Network, and we are so proud to be a part of their organization and their network as well. So let's get to the interview with Lea Woodford here on the Nice Guys on Business podcast. The woman is bad to the bone, and that's a good thing. Lea Woodford has been behind a race car wheel. I'm going to say it's NASCAR, but I'm fucking clueless anyway. I've seen her piloting a plane, interviewing big-time athletes. She's an adventure seeker, professional speaker, femme extraordinaire, author, and amazing shoe wearer, which I think is going to be important, and you'll hear why about that a little bit later on. My friend and the friend of the Nice Guy community, welcome Lea Woodford to the Nice Guys on Business show.
Oh, thanks, Doug. Great to be here.
It's our honor to have you on the show. So you had to be scared to get behind that race car wheel, no? Weren't you?
You know, it was really funny. I wanted to be co-host for Motorsports Mania. What you may not know is I was raised by my dad. I was the son he never had. So I grew up under cars and in planes and, really got my hands dirty. But I've been a racing enthusiast for a long time. And the video that you saw, I was auditioning for Motorsports Mania, and I had to drive a NASCAR to be considered.
Wow, that's really cool. So those doors, they don't open, do they?
Mm-mm.
You had to like. I'm watching you get into the car, or maybe I'm watching you next to the car and thinking, how the hell is she going to get in the car? Because they don't have any doors.
Nope. I guess that's where gymnastics kind of came in handy, and being small. But no, you climb into the car, and it's really funny. They strap you in and they kind of build you into there. There's no seat. It's really different. And I had to have a block because I'm only 5 feet tall.
Yeah, you're a tiny thing, but I'll tell you, tiny does not at all take into account the big personality that you have. You could be 5 foot nothing or 6'4" the way I am, but your personality is even larger than mine, and I always find that very interesting. And I've seen you at Nice Guy Community. You wouldn't know this, but I've seen Lea at a number of C-Suite networking events. And what's so great about it is she may be the shortest person in the room, but she's the most visible because she wears not only heels that are about 18 inches high, but her personality is larger than life. And I just have to look for the collective of people, and I know that you're usually in the center of them, Lea.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for noticing my shoes. Yes, I do love my big girl shoes.
Yeah, you do wear a lot of, well, my wife is a big fan of shoes, and I've on a number of occasions have shown her a number of your Facebook photos where you prominently display the shoes, and she's like, yeah, she's got some shoes, that one does. So Lea, let me ask you a question. Somebody put caffeine in your cornflakes, and you've been on the go for what seems like your entire life. Now, it sounded like from the last comment that you made that it was probably about you being the son that your father never had. But it goes beyond that because you've got to be born with that. You can't teach that kind of go. Have you always been that way?
I think we discussed this earlier. I was a military brat. So, every time I would get comfortable, every 2.5, 3 years, we would end up having to move. So you were constantly in a state of flux and having to find new friends. And things have always changed for me very quickly. So, yeah, I think I get bored if things are status quo.
No, I agree. And looking at your professional experience, it seems like that goes in many, many different directions also, not in a bad way. I mean, totally in a amazing way, because all of this leads into, a couple of great, one great brand, but a whole bunch of messages. So let's start here. You have a book. It's called Lead, Share, Empower. So give the Nice Guy community an idea of some of the strategies that you've shared in the book that you wrote.
Well, that book, that's my first book. It just came out. That was a really, really tough book to write. I had a lot of trials and tribulations that I had to go through before I could actually bring Smartfem to fruition. And everybody has trials and tribulations, but what happened to me was in 2010, my ex-husband was in a motorcycle accident, and it resulted into 16 months of rehab. Then after that, got him back working again. Then about 3 months later, I was diagnosed with a rare form of skin cancer, and they took half my face off.
Wow.
And it took 11 months of reconstruction. But what you have to remember is my whole persona and my face and my image was my livelihood. So not only had I been away from the market for 16 months with my ex-husband, then to get back and then be pushed off another 11 months. And I really didn't know if I would ever be able to go back on camera again, because it was such a devastating defect. And it took 11 surgeons to put me back together again.
What's amazing about it, as you share your story, Leah, I didn't know any of this. Until you just said that, I really didn't. I didn't really even understand. It seems what's interesting about it is most people would shy away from the spotlight when something like that happens because of fear of, well, I'm disfigured or I have an issue or whatever, or just because of self-consciousness. Just being aware of what's going on. You did the exact opposite of that. I mean, you've leaned into your life over the last. When were you diagnosed, and when was the surgery? How long ago?
This was in 2011.
What's amazing is that since then, and again, I've only known you briefly, but in the time that I've known you, I've only known you as that out in the middle of the spotlight. You seek the spotlight, Leah, don't you?
Well, it's not really about me. It's
well, it's about it's about your message and your brand and the
right.
stuff that you. Sorry, I didn't mean to say, wow, you are an attention-seeking fiend. It's not that. You are a brand all on your own, and that is the brand, and your message just comes through so clearly with the stuff that you do.
Well, thank you. Again, that's part of the reason with my book. It was my why. I was a dating and relationship correspondent. I wrote columns. I was a lifestyle correspondent on all the stations. So it was really light and fluffy and a lot of fun, but really no brain power to that. It was a lot of fun. I made a lot of money. But in 2009, my daughter called me. She was a freshman at NAU, and she was in the rec room with her dorm mates, and one of my TV segments came on, and she called me, or actually she called me out is really what happened.
Yeah, I love this story. I was listening to this online, so go ahead and share it with the Nice Guy community.
She just said, "Mom, you have got to cut the crap." And that's what she told me. This is my 18-year-old freshman telling me that I was not living up to my full potential and that I was perpetuating the Cinderella syndrome. She says, "I'm married to the education that you're paying for, but most of the girls that I go to school with have no idea what they want to do, but they can describe every single second of their wedding day." And she goes,
wow.
That is not the way you raised me. And that is totally incongruent with the woman I know. Because when I was a single mom for years, I was in sales and had 3 kids that I was raising and didn't get child support for my boys. And it was tough. And my daycare was more than my mortgage and car payment together.
Isn't that incredible? It's incredible when that happens.
So, yeah, she's always seen me working, and I worked a lot. And that's what she saw, that's what she knew. So when I kind of coasted into the dating and relationship stuff, she didn't like it. And she called me out, and asked me to use my contacts and my influence to create something that would educate, empower, and inspire women. And that's how Smartfem came about.
Yeah, so share, since we're just approaching the subject now, I was going to get to it a little bit later, but you bring up a valid point and you bring up an amazing brand. Talk to the Nice Guy community about Smartfem and really what that is. I mean, it's a really cool thing, but how did so the concept came up from when your daughter called you out. So talk about the evolution of Smartfem and what it's about.
Well, Smartfem, the concept came around in 2009, but, as I talked about later, due to my ex-husband's motorcycle accident, and then, my health challenges, I really didn't get it off the ground until 2011. After my face was taken off, I called my business partner, Paul, who was living in New York at the time, kind of told him what happened. And in the meantime, after my third reconstruction, my ex-husband filed for divorce. So I'm 49 years old. I don't have a face. I haven't been working for a long time. It was really scary for me.
Right.
And so he flew me out to New York and he said, we're going to focus on Smartfem. You made a commitment to Lauren. Let's get this done. And that's what we did. We focused and we did a soft launch in 2011 and really started promoting it in 2012.
Well, and you have a lot of information. And by the way, Nice Guy community, if you have not had a chance, and you probably haven't if you're just hearing about Lea for the first time, head over to her. You can go to her website. We'll make sure we put the information about the website on our show notes. But also make sure you check out. She has a huge following on Twitter, and what's so great about it is all the positivity that you share there. Intelligent television for intelligent women. It goes so far beyond that, though. I know the brand is really more geared in its message to women, but I think this is a good message for everybody. So can you share? I'm hoping that you take that strategy as well. That this is more than just a woman's message, or contradict what I'm saying. It's okay.
It's a couple of different things. First of all, the largest consumer is the U.S. woman. She represents 87% of the consumer market. We make all the decisions, everything from car buying to homes to, of course, healthcare. So I always knew that I wanted to reach, again, the largest consumer. But it's not just about women. It's about, we highlight companies that are women friendly. And we love smart dudes too, and nice guys.
Wait a minute. Let me ask this question: Do you like smart dudes, nice guys, or bad boys?
You know what? I like a little bit of all of them, and it's funny because I love nice guys with a little bit of edge.
Yeah.
Bad boys are fun, but I married one of them, but you can't really live with them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I like the nice guys with edge.
I always tell my wife, and this is probably one of the things that we're attracted to with each other, is that I'm the guy that will drink a Cosmo at the bar, but get on the Harley and ride my way home from after having the Cosmo. Well, obviously responsibly, that is, but she definitely is a leader's leader, and sometimes it's very challenging for a male to be attracted to somebody that has so much power. And have you found that the same? And I don't mean to get into the relationship side of your world, but do you find that in the business world also that some businesses are attracted to a very strong, forward, confident woman in business? I think it should be that way. Do you?
I absolutely do, but you have to remember, I live in Scottsdale. I have a postmodern feminist magazine with really strong women, and I'm in Cowboy Town.
Yeah.
So what has really helped me was branching out nationally. You'll see that, we met again in New York. I mean, we're spending a lot more time in New York and California, where I think strong women are more prevalent. We're, again, we're a little bit backwards here in Arizona in some ways. And unfortunately, with the new political administration coming in, I think women are going to have to be very, very vigilant and watch where things are going and find their voice. I think now is more important than ever. And I think we really, really need more female strong leaders, and also the men that support them to be vigilant right now.
I want to make a sharp turn here for a second, if we could, and leave the business world behind for just a second. And I want to go to a quote that I saw on I don't know if it was your Twitter feed or somewhere, but let me just read you the quote. And I'm thinking that this is a quote by you. It's definitely your personality here. And can you I would just want you to just spend a moment discussing this. Sure. So the quote is: "Relationships never die a natural death. They are always murdered by attitude, behavior, ego, or ignorance." So talk to us about what that means to you.
Oh, I posted that one today.
Oh, that's today.
Yeah.
Oh, I am very recent in my information with you then.
Yeah. It's true though. Think about that. And we all have relationships that go sideways. And interestingly enough, I was dating a relationship columnist forever, but it goes with any kind of relationship, whether it's male, female, or the Mean Girls. Relationships don't die a natural death. They are murdered, and it's usually ego. Always, whenever someone is mean to you or says something really unkind, it really never, unless you did something directly to them, it's never about you. It's about that person who makes that comment.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So what is next in your world? What's coming up? You have this Smartfem network. So tell us about what the makeup of this network is. It sounds like, or it looks like, from looking at the site, there's a lot of video that's on there. There's a lot of written content too. How are you getting your message out other than those two forms?
Well, we started out as the magazine in 2011, but as you well know, Doug, marketing changes on the dime. Yeah. And, years ago, I had went to school for broadcasting and communications, but with Google acquiring YouTube, I knew that the demographics and the landscape was going to change with the acquisition of YouTube, and video was going to be really important. And after spending a fortune on video that was over budget and just wasn't network quality, I went back to school in 2014. Only I didn't go to broadcasting school. I went to film school because
what is film? Do we have that anymore?
Well, I say film school, but because I wanted to learn really about lighting and editing, and not just shooting E&G, which is field reporting and news. I really wanted cinematic shooting, drama.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of different textures. I love watching movies and stuff with great lighting, great texture, great characters. And that's something that I wanted to bring into videos. And what's interesting, Doug, is when you learn new skills, the fabulous thing about it is it opens new revenue streams for you. So as I started filming for Smartfem, then I started getting TV commercials, and then my clients wanted video. And then they would refer people, and all we had was the magazine.
Yeah.
So, and then it would take a long time to explain all the things that we did, because then we also got into web design.
Oh boy.
So I had to create a parent company, which became Smartfem Media Group, which is a multimedia digital advertising marketing company. But now we just happen to have a magazine and a television show.
Yeah, you do a little bit of everything, which is great. As I said, you're not diluting your content. You're spreading it out over many channels, and I think doing a great job with making sure each of those channels is given the proper attention that it should be given. I don't know how you do it all. I watch based upon your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter feed, seeing you at events, all of the stuff that you do, putting out new content on a constant basis. I keep thinking, holy shit, you've got a lot behind you.
Well, I have an amazing team. It's not just me. I would love to be able to say I'm Superwoman, Wonder Woman, and I do all this myself, but I really don't. I have an absolutely amazing team. And I've had an ongoing relationship with ASU for years. So I work with them. There's some fabulous professors over there that send me incredible interns, and we pay them well, right. And they stay with us. So we don't have the attrition and the turnover rate that most magazines and most advertising companies have, because we bring in the best and brightest, we train them, and then we keep them with us.
Oh, very cool. Lea's book is called, again, Lead, Share, Empower. It's available not only on Amazon, but if you head over to her website, there'll be a whole much more information about the book, and you can actually read a little bit at greater depth before you purchase it if you want to, right on our website. We'll make sure we put Lea's what the heck is that called? A website? Yeah. Is that what those things are called now? Those newfangled things? We'll put that in the show notes. I want to go leave Smartfem for a second, and I want you to take off your Smartfem hat, and I want you to put on your entrepreneur's hat, because I know that you have the heart of an entrepreneur through and through, Lea. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and I just want you to give me your knee-jerk response to each of these 5, and take maybe 10 or 15 seconds. It's just really brief. It's a rapid-fire Q&A. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, be relatable. Lea, what do you suck at?
You know what? I suck at a lot of things, but I would say I'm still figuring out Twitter. It's not my strong suit.
Oh, interesting. Social media, the Twitter side of things.
Just Twitter.
Just Twitter. Okay, yeah, you are but you are good at it. I've seen it in action. Be transparent. How did you pay your bills when you first got going?
You know what? You just have to get creative. When one thing doesn't work, you have to try something else, and always be flexible.
Okay, good one. Be confident. What do you do as an entrepreneur that's as good as it gets?
Mindset is everything. If you are not feeling good about yourself or where you are in that place, don't see a client till you can change your mindset.
Good advice. Be humble. What experts did you need to call upon to make shit happen when shit wasn't happening?
I look for people that are really honest. If they don't have the answers and they tell me, I love that. Or if somebody makes a mistake, but they own up to it, that really sets trust for me, because we love everybody when everything's going great. But, when it hits the fan, and how they own up to that and how they make it, push it forward and make up for it, that's what really gets my trust. And that just raises the bar in my eyes of them.
Excellent. All right. And last one, as a business owner and entrepreneur, put these into priority order. Are you ready? So here are the 4 things I need you to put into priority order: employees, customers, products, systems. Put those in priority order: employees, customers, products, systems.
Employees, clients or customers, systems, and products.
Okay. And tell me why first and why last.
First of all, to quote our dear friend Jeffrey Hazlett, company cadence and everything, your team is your ambassador to your customers. So if your team doesn't like you, then that's going to go viral. You have to be good to your team first.
Yeah, very true. And products last.
Products last, because in my mind, you are your product. And if you and your team are doing everything right, then your systems are in place, then the products will fall in place.
Excellent. I like it. There's no right answer, no wrong answer. I just always enjoy the interpretation of the 4 in priority order from everybody. Do you have your cell phone anywhere near you?
I do.
Excellent. Take out your phone. Do you have an iPhone or something inferior?
I have an Android.
Oh boy, 2 in a row, 2 Androids in a row. I'm not sure. My co-host Strickland is going to love these last 2 interviews. Then we can always set the tone of the entire interview by the cell phone that you have. All right, and go to your texting app. What is the last text message you either sent or received?
Last text message. Hold on, and it's a new phone, so you're going to have to bear with me.
Yeah, not very intuitive. Those Androids, are they?
Such a pleasure.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. Was that from somebody personal or was that a business? Was that a business text?
That was a business text.
Excellent. All right. And go to your phone, your picture app. What is the last thing you took a picture of?
A glass of wine.
Nicely done. I was, if I was a bet man, I would have said a pair of shoes.
There's a lot of shoes on this phone. I can tell you that.
I know there are. I mean, I haven't seen your phone, but I know based upon the shoe fan that you are, there's a lot of shoes in there. Lea, tell our Nice Guy community how they can get in touch with you if they want to get more information about Smartfem or about your book or about anything that you have to offer. Okay.
Well, thank you, Doug. Well, Lea Woodford, and Lea is spelled Lea. Last name is Woodford, WOODFORD.com, is my personal speaking/author website. And smartfem.com is SMARTFEM.com is our magazine. But feel free to hit me up on social media.
Yeah, and just Google her. If you can't find her through all those sources, if you just Google her, she owns that first page, which is always a sign of a truly collected and brought together smart femme, brand. Way to go. That's so challenging to own that page. So, Lea Woodford, thanks for being a guest on the show. So appreciate everything that you're doing to spread your message to the community. And thanks again for being a part of the show today.
Oh, thank you, Doug. And we Smart Femmes love the nice guys.
All right, I love that. Well, you definitely. I hope at some point you subscribe to the show now that you've been you've been indoctrinated as a guest on the show.
I believe I already am subscribed.
Even better. That was just kind of a leading question, so I'm glad it was that way. Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Lea for being a part of the show. Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. They have listeners in other countries? I didn't think anyone was listening outside of their house. Except maybe their moms.